Hello everybody, Zeff here with ZeffsTrading, Friday, May 10th, 2024. Kind of a little bit of a better day. There's some trades on here and you can see I have a blank chart today. So I'm just going to go through this and show you kind of how I mark it up from start to finish. It's going to be a little bit of a longer video, but I thought I'd do at least one of these types of videos because usually it's all marked up before I do a whole trade recap. So I thought I upload a little bit of a longer video, so if you want to stick around and listen to my entire thought process on each and every single trade and how I'm kind of marking these up and my thought process on them, then stick around. And if not, and you want to skip, then you could probably skip to the end of the video or just skip through the video, and you could do that too. Anyways, let's get started. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come here as I would if I'm preparing and say I'm sitting it down before the market. And let me change the settings here. So you can actually do this with NinjaTrader by making a little blank on the right side margin there. And so, market opens at 9:30 to this time, so we'll just start at like 9:28 here. So if I'm sitting here and I'm looking at this, basically I'm going to be looking for the lows and highs. So we have a nice downtrend here, so I'll mark that. And if you want, you can mark the highs and lows something like that or like that. And I think that's a little more accurate for at the moment. So you have clearly measured move down, it looks like, so we'll double check. And we went a little bit below it here. So, you can put that on your chart as well if you'd like. I like to kind of keep it a little bit more clean and just look at it as a simple visual two-legged pullback. I can clearly see that. And then, as I'm counting the market, we'll just do it kind of bar by bar here. So here's a first entry, second entry, and we have a nice signal bar here. So here's a failed second entry if it goes higher. So that'd be a failed second entry short. Whoops. So first entry, second entry short. We already have a break and new low. So we could also, put that as a new low here if we want. And nice failed second entry short. Now it looks like our trend is going up here. So we can kind of draw this line like this if we want. Nice move up and see how much this thing takes off or not. And now it looks like we have a, let's see, this is go lower here, 55. Yeah, one lower by hand. So we have a first entry, second entry short. And we're not really looking for a second entry short here, even though this did work. Not really looking for a second entry short here, as this is an uptrend, so maybe another failure. And okay, there we go. We got a first entry, second entry short failure, but not really a good signal bar. Not really, I'd like to see failures here. And then we just keep going. So it looks like a pretty clear uptrend here, so it kind of looks like a spike, and now it's kind of channeling here. So I'll do something around like that, basically. And I'm just counting. There's a first entry long, and it came down. And it looks like it's starting to sell off now. Got a lower high. And so we can kind of see something going along of this line as well. And this we'd like to see a second entry short here. But now we only have a first entry. Then we get a second entry. So here's a second entry short. If it goes one tick below, here's a low. First entry, second entry short. And what we're expecting here is a break a new low. So this trend channel is valid here, right? This one right here. So you can see, we can kind of readjust as price comes and, gets itself situated. We could also draw this little trading range a bit longer here. I think when you're looking at these, you want to make sure it lines up pretty correctly here. So like the midline, pretty sure this looks pretty accurate here. A lot of data touches here and two tops here. At least we got one right now on the bottom here. So we might adjust this. This could be below here, but as price is developing, we're just watching. Okay, so now we have a first entry, second entry long failure, but it's too far away from the EMA here. Not really what we're looking to see here. Let's see if it holds. So it's kind of holding around this line here, but let's see, did it bounce off this? So it bounced off this here. It looks like the midline is here as well, 1, 2, and 3, so this could be more accurate for this. And again, you're always adjusting this as price is developing throughout the day. And now it looks like if we zoom out, we have a little bit of a bigger trend channel on the bottom here. And you can also, you can see how nicely that fits. And so we'll change that color just for visual aid. That's why I like to change the colors here. Alrighty, so looks like we got a first entry, nothing else here really. Just a clear downward channel here. Got a lot of congestion here, so I'm going to mark my congestion across the board. And this is a double bottom, so it resets the count. Looks like we have a first entry long, and it just sells off again. Okay, so this looks like the break and new low of this trend channel. I'm going to just change this to a little bit of a lighter color. So this is clearly what we can see here as a move down, break, new low, and let's just double check. We have a first entry. We do have a second entry short, but it's a bad signal bar. It's an outside bar. It's a doji bar, so don't really like that. We'll just keep continuing watching. And this could be something like this. Or it could also be something more like this, which I think it's a little more. First entry, let's see here. From our lows, first entry, second entry short, failed, congestion. Nothing really well to get in here. And just chopping sideways now. So I'm going to, again, redraw my zones. As you can see here. And let's just watch this develop here. And we got a break a new low again. So this looks like a final flag formation. This is an Al Brooks thing, so you got a final flag here. So I'm just going to mark it. We're getting quite to the lows here, so I'm just going to zoom out for a second and get into the lows here. Some good support down here at 52, 34, 35, 52, 27. So we have a first entry, second entry long failure now, but don't really see much in here. There's also could be a wider downward channel, so we've got to be cautious of that. We've got a first entry. We can get a second entry short here. So if it goes one tick below that, that would be a second entry short. And we have a, as you can see, never broke the low here. So here's a first entry, pulls all the way back up. And we're at a key entry point here, which is this downward trend channel. We're back at this also resistance at the midline of the box and this congestion point. So I have first entry, second entry short. Nice outside bar, reversing it, comes back in. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, look, just chopping sideways again. So you can see, usually when it is basically a failed breakout as well. Yeah, it looks like a nice lower high here, actually. I'm going to mark that. And you got a lower high right at the previous day's high here, which is a good key entry point as well. And this box might be more like this. And you just kind of want to line it up where there's real nice data points. It lines up nicely. That's how you know you have it right here. But now that I'm looking at this, kind of see a uptrend as well happening here. So I think it's more like that. And now that I can clearly see that I have this move down, break, couple legs to a new low. This downward channel doesn't really make too much sense here, but I think this might be a measured move. And we got pretty close to it, but not quite. And let's just see what happens. I got this move up. I think this trend channel is pretty accurate here with this upward move, but I think this trading range is a lot bigger than we think at the moment. And I think it's looking more like that. There's a first entry long. We have a second entry short, but it's a bad signal bar, and it's really not what we're looking for here. But I do see this upward trend channel. We have a break, new high, so we might get a reversal, at least back below here. And it looks like we're coming back right to the midline here. So this midline seems pretty accurate now. I think we got this trading range established here. Got a first entry, second entry short. It's a good signal bar. It's a 1, 2, 3 triple test. This really isn't that bad of a trade. We're probably going to mark this here. And now the only problem is I do see an upward trend channel here. So you got to be cautious of that. But you do have a 1, 2, 3. You're at the resistance. I think it's worth taking. and you get stopped out by just one tick here. But I still think that's a pretty good trade. It's a triple chest, second entry short, and those outside bars suck, but it happens. And it looks like you would have got your scalp at least. It is getting pretty late in the day, so you do got to be careful of that. And let's see here. So we got a nice move up, and that's why I said you got to be careful of this upward trend channel, because you got your break now, and now it's technically a first entry, second entry short. Now you just basically have a higher low, and it's finally making a new high here. And then you got a first entry, second entry long. Got a failure here, stops out. I'm sure someone here. Again, this all looks very congested though. You can kind of see you have like a very slight upward bias here. It's almost like a spike in channel a little bit. It's riding the 21 EMA here. Yeah, it pretty much goes into the end of the day. And so you do got to be cautious at the end of the day. It was a very slow day. This trading range is quite deceptive here, and I think you can get chopped up quite easy. Anyways, that's kind of how my thought process is, and now let's see how the chart looks for the rest of the day. That's what it looks like, and you can clearly see a move down, trading range, try to recover a bit, but sold back off. Hopefully this was a little bit more information on how I like mark up the charts, how I'm looking for stuff, what I see, and anything like that. And now we can go through the whole chart, and I'll just redo it. So 11:30 in the video, you can pretty much just go through and see it, and we'll just double check everything and do our homework, see if we miss anything. So we have first entry, we have a second entry long here, and it fails. Not really where I like to see. It's not too bad though, but it comes down and get a new low here. You got a first entry, second entry short, failure. I like this one, and now you can kind of also do hindsight, so you can really see if you missed anything, or see if you're kind of just more clear on what the price action is doing. Moves up here, you get a first entry, second entry short, failure again. Nothing really here. Do we miss any second entry longs? We just have a first entry long, no lower highs or anything. This trend channel looks correct. We have a first entry, second entry short. I really like this second entry short. That looks quite good. You're looking for a new low here. Comes down, break. You get a first entry. Never get a second entry short, but nice reversal bar here, as you can see. Comes down, back to the previous day's low here. Chop sideways for quite some time. I'll probably make this just a little bit darker so we can kind of see it. Comes up here. I think we do have a trend channel here. Never got to break a new high, but it does come down. You get a first entry. You do get a second entry short here, but man, this is a really bad bar, but maybe you take that. I'm going to mark it just to mark it, just for learning purposes. Comes down, first entry, second entry short, bad signal bar, it's an inside bar. Traps all the people who take it, sells off. Again, just chop sideways. So we got a final flag here. Comes down. You get a nice little first entry, second entry short. I like this trade. You do have an upward trend channel here, though. And do we get a break? Yeah, we get a break a new high. So there's a lot going on for that second entry short there. Also, this little marker here that I was kind of looking at, I think this is pretty valid. Comes down, goes sideways here. And this lower high looks really good here. This is exactly where you want to see. It's actually a double top, but you can see it's first entry, pulls up, and nice lower high. Plenty of room back to the EMA here. Upward trend channel break. Looks like this is the new high, and then it comes and tests this midline again. But then you get a 1, 2, 3, and it does seem pretty accurate to go for this triple test here. Do you even get a point on this? No, you don't even get a point, unfortunately, so you just get stopped out there. But I still like this as a 1, 2, 3. Very big resistance here. The only thing that's a little annoying is this upward trend channel, and you are in it, so you're shorting into a trend. Comes down, the outside bar stops you out, comes up. And that pretty much goes in the rest of the day. So that's my thought process. That's kind of how I'm looking at it. And, you definitely have the second entry short here earlier in the day, which seems to be the trade of the day. And it's going to be a little bit of a longer video, but if you guys enjoyed watching, I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys Monday.